alive. I'm alive. He's alive. Okay, so good. I love the way this looks. So this is great. Let me see. This looks a little crooked. What's crooked? It's the camera. There you go. And I still look good here. All right. Perfect. What's that behind me? Oh, my wife dad. It's all good. Anyway, babies, people, friends, family. Thank you, Devon. Yes, for sure. Good evening, Amanda. Let's get the shares out and get the messages out to the other people that need to be here. Shall we? Can we? Will we? I am such a nitpicky son of a gun. I'm moving the thing, but that don't look straight. I am so nitpicky, and I'm looking at it saying, yeah, but it looks like it's at an angle, and it kind of is. Let me straighten that out. hmm I think that's better. Yeah, yeah, that feels better. Looks better, feels better. Okay, so I like the fact that I have straight camera. I want to add this video to my list of videos before I start doing anything else. So when I'm ready to show it, let's go to this video here. Uh, nope, don't want that. Put it up, thank you. Wait, wait, didn't I just save the video there? Why aren't you showing it? Okay, so let's do this thing. See you. Delete you. Add a source. Video. Select. It's not in there. Okay, wait a minute. I just saved it in there. Did I not save it? Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. This guy. Excuse me for excuse me while I get stuff together for y'all. Everybody not here yet anyway, so it give me a little time to get things together. Got some real good stuff for you tonight. Real good subject. You're gonna love it. Lindsay said, hi, I'm in the car driving. Well, drive on, my sister. You left the lights on in the office, by the way. Not a big rush, but just to let you know. I guess you were so happy to get out of that being stuck in the ice. You just drove on and left the lights on. But it's all good. You can take care of it when you do. It ain't going to affect the electricity that much. Um, so, yeah, let me go back now to desktop. Boom. And Vision Builder's desktop, boom. In videos, boom. And there it is right there. I didn't put it in this folder. That'll do it. Okay, that explains why I couldn't find it. Gotta put it in the right place. There we go.
I don't like to seem like I'm bragging. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who owns Marilyn Monroe?
Playboy?
Who owns Elvis Presley? Who owns Forever 21?
That was the
Who
moment.
owns J.C. Penney? Me. My real business is out.
Boom. There we go. Now it's ready. Nope, not you. You want to leave that. You want to leave that alone. Saw it for a second. Where'd you go? Come back again. Guess here's what we'll do. Audio mixer. Forget to turn it back on though. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me online, Nelly?
Yes.
Okay, so good. So I think I muted what I needed to mute. Mhm. Trying to get rid of you. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Anyway, let's get the video back. Who's in the room now? 4 people. Okay, come on, yo, get on in here. Did you share it to the team and everybody?
Yeah, I shared it.
All right, get it shared. Share it to
yeah, share it to
Dynamic.
yeah.
And there's a way you're supposed to be able to share with your friends. I saw it pop up in here. I don't know if it's on here or the app where you can
Let me go to the
share with all your
team.
friends. Let me see something.
I know some people are in
I don't
transit.
like to seem like I'm bragging. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who owns Marilyn Monroe?
Playboy?
Who owns?
As soon as you turn it up, it goes away. All right, so I'll blow it up when I'm ready to use it. It's all good. It's in the right place, so I know it's where it's supposed to be. And you say I can't see you? Devon, you can't see me? I don't understand what's going on here. Homeboy said he can't see me. There's no mute. Everything is in place. What you mean you can't see me? I'm seeing myself right here on the screen. Put myself up on the
Does he mean because you're on the bottom?
Probably.
Well, he said, let me refresh.
I see you now. Do you see what I see? Okay, so see who's in the house. Who in the house? Who in your house? Oh, Dynamic in here, so she knew exactly what that reference was. Who in your house? Don't know who's in your house? Go look in your house and see then. Okay, so let's get some people invited. Now, I know on the app you can invite friends. You can just go through everybody that follows you and just start inviting people. I don't know if you can do that on the studio. If not, that really stinks. It stinks. I don't see that. So you have to go, but you can go on your TikTok apps and invite as many people you want. But you should be allowed to do that here. As I'm figuring things out. How you doing this evening? I hope you're doing good. Man, I was telling the wife, I call you the wife. I was telling the wife. I wonder why people say that, the wife. I was telling my wife. You can't request on TT Studio, huh? That's doo-doo. That's poo-poo. That's poo-poo. That's poo-poo on a stick. You should be able to go to your friends and stuff. Right, because like on TikTok Studio, I can't even see who my friends are. Like literally can't see my friends. Your account, access live English, log out. Yeah, I see all that. We got that languages and all kind of other bull crap. Where is my friends? I got over almost 3,000 friends. Like, where am I? I can't bring my friends up in here. That's messed up. Anyway, how you doing tonight? And welcome. Devon says he says the missus. Yeah, a lot of people say that. That's kind of a whole thing. I wonder why. It's just curious. It's not part of our conversation tonight, but I do wonder why. Um, um, yeah, we're gonna get going in right now. Actually, we're not gonna wait any longer. Or my queen. Yes, I always refer to Nelly as my queen. I even call her queen. Say good morning, queen, stuff like that. And she calls me king when I call her queen. She usually like steals my whatever I say to her, and then she throws it back. She got to be more original with her compliments and stuff. You stealing my compliments. What you eating over there?
Apple pie.
Enjoy. Anyway, so we got the wrong title up there, Mom.
Oh, it didn't change on TikTok?
I didn't change it.
Oh. I thought you were typing it in.
I typed it in, but it didn't change. You know, when you put it across the top of the screen, it doesn't change it. You got to write it in. What is it again?
That one, the 400 mil that's on your...
Look for opportunities?
That's in the studio, yeah.
That's the name of it, right?
Yes. Yeah, you should still be able to change it in the studio.
Oh, yeah, I could change it right now.
Oh, perfect.
Bang. There you go. Look for opportunities.
Wow, it changed right away. Okay.
Yeah, it's no joke. You change it right there, it change.
Mm-hmm.
It be changing.
Okay.
Okay, so listen. We did this series, and this is going to be all part of the next book, Think Like an Investor. So what I'm doing is I do my recordings here and get it ready for my book, and transcribe it, and that's how I create books. Instead of sitting there writing all day, ain't nobody got time for that. So thank you for the likes, all the likes coming through. So listen, let me see what we usually do. Let's pull just to get started. Let's pull some people in the room. So Dynamic usually has people that follow her in. I don't know if Lindsay or Devon does, but I know you do. So I'm bringing you in, daughter. And usually the other ones, they don't usually accept the invitation anyway. So Lindsay usually will, and Devon will. Devon, if you want to come in the room, I'll gladly bring you up. Let me just put the invite there. Let me not do that. Let me just put it there. If you like it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. There you go. Beautiful way to do it. Put Lindsay there. Put Devon there. I know Lindsay's driving. So we want to be mine. I know Amanda doesn't usually come up, but I'll still send the invite out, and you can say accept or reject. When you come up, make sure you mute your mic. If not, if you can't, then I'll do it for you. Boom, muted. All right. So we're in the room. Thank you, Dynamic, for the likes and the loves and the hugs and kisses and snuggles. So look for opportunities. Now, hand me that box. So TikTok, I'm not selling anything. I'm just getting ready.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to mute you for now, but we're going to come back to you. All right, here we go. So what we have here is me right now looking for opportunities to invest, right? And then, blessed with a decent amount of finance to do that. So I look for investments. I look for opportunities and things. So when we worked out at the gym, when we worked out with this trainer that lives in the building a couple of weeks ago, he came over to us, and you may have heard about it, you may not have. Devon usually is involved in a bunch of stuff, so he's probably heard about it. But the cupping system for your muscles, you put the suction cups on you and let it draw against your skin, and it leaves like a I don't know, like a hickey look like on you. You're not supposed to leave it more than 5 minutes, and it's supposed to pull the blood to your muscle and all that, and make it, I don't know. Like people always coming up with stuff, but he had put it all over his back. Now, this trainer in the building, he is ripped. He's got muscles in his teeth. He's got muscles everywhere, right? And he's putting the cup all over him and showing you how it's supposed to make this big difference in your muscle circulation. Like I said, instead of massaging and rubbing it in, it pulls the blood and stuff to the top, and it's supposed to make a difference. Well, the young man was there, and he had this device he had made, and he was trying to sell them real cheap because he decided he wanted to get out of the business. Something he had started, he didn't want to do it anymore, and he said he got a bunch left. And I was like, yeah. So when I went to the my trainer today, he had this whole box of these suction cups and stuff, and he was saying to me, "Get up on the table, lay down. I'm going to put the suction cup on your leg, because those of you who know that I was diagnosed with a bone spur, which has been, which is a growth where your bone has a growth on it of extra bone, and it makes it hard for you to do things. It's been really messing with my skating. Some days it's good days, I stretch or do what I'm supposed to do, and some days it's just a pain in the leg. And so, see if anybody else came in. What's going on, Tane? Good to have you, baby boy. And so he said, yeah, I'm gonna put these cups on you. And he put these cups, these little plastic cups, and he rub oil on your skin, and he push it in, and he start squeezing this thing that sucks the skin all up in there. And it felt a little uncomfortable, but he said, you leave it in there about 5-6 minutes. And yeah, I know it's a long story, but I'm getting to a point. So I'm like, how the heck is this going to make any kind of difference, just putting some suction cups on my leg? So he did it. Then he said, I'm going to put some on your back. I'm going to put some on your other leg once we finish that leg. But after he took it off the leg, like literally I was able to move the leg like with very little discomfort at all. Matter of fact, I was able to do like almost a full squat, which I have not been able to do on this leg since the bone problem started showing itself. So I said, the young man in my building was selling these individual kind of suction cups, but his was battery powered, where are rechargeable. Where this guy's, he put the cup on you, he put this thing on you, and it sucks the air out of it. First of all, while I'm talking up a storm, does anybody, thank you for the gifts. Everybody, thank you for the Go Populars. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, my regular givers. Thank you, wife, my dear. Thank you, Lindsay and Live Unique. Nelly is going in on it. Appreciate it. Thank you for the taps, Dynamic. Appreciate it. Love you. You guys are doing great stuff. We appreciate you. Let's get back to what we're doing here. So I said, wait a minute. That kid in the building was selling the cups and things. And he was selling them really low, because I've seen them online, 50, 60, 70 bucks. And he was selling them really low. So I called him up. I said, yeah, how come you selling them so low? He said, I just spent all this money in it. I'm getting out the business, excuse me, and I'm just trying to literally try to get back my investment. So I said to him, I'll take 2 of them, for that price. And I looked at him. So here's what it looks like. So first of all, has anybody ever heard of these things? That's what I want to know. This cupping, cupping therapy is called cupping therapy. Have you heard of this? Anybody have it? If not, you could look it up online real quick and act like you heard of it. But honestly, has anybody heard of it? Yes, I've heard of it. Some, Lindsay says she's heard of. She have heard. Oh, you have some. You have the cupping devices. So is yours battery powered, or is yours like, how does it work? I'm curious to know. You're in this thing. If you want to unmute, talk. I can unmute. You gotta unmute yourself. I can speak versus text. Okay, go ahead. Get on in here and tell me what you know. about cupping, smart cupping therapy. Do I have to unmute you, or you can share unmute yourself? Yeah, there you go.
Hello, good
Good
evening.
evening.
Yeah, I actually,
Hello. You just yeah, actually, and then you stop. Okay. Vaughn said good evening, but
can you
Lindsay,
hear me?
now we can. Yes.
Sorry about that. Yes, good evening. So, real quick, yeah, I have the cups. I went to a physical therapist. It also helps with increasing blood flow, helping to reduce inflammation. There's a term that's just not coming to me now, but it's cheaper than the like battery powered or manual ones. I just have the physical cups. If you learn how to work it right, they can be great for a lot of things.
Wait, just a
That's
physical
cool that you
cup, no
have that
power, no
sense.
nothing, just a cup.
Correct, in different sizes.
So how do you make it suck? Pause. How does it suction work?
How do you use it? Yeah, a little bit of any kind of oil or something that can like vitamin E oil they recommend because the skin absorbs that well.
Mm-hmm.
But just a little bit of something, and then it just glides, across the skin.
Okay, but you put the cup there, but then you got to make it, pull your skin up and draw the blood up.
Yep.
So how do you make it do that?
So my physical therapist taught me how to.
Okay,
It's
I
certain,
didn't
like,
ask you
flows
that.
and-
How do you do it? How do you make the cup work? There's got to be a kind of vacuum type action on it.
Yeah, it's like a suction cup. So once it connects to the skin with the right oil or whatever, it creates suction. The way the manual ones are designed. Is that answering your question?
Yes, it is. That finally did answer my question, because I know it's supposed to be
Okay.
a vacuum type action to it. It's not supposed to just sit on
Yeah.
your skin, right? So the one that he
Yeah.
used, it was a manual cup, but then he had to put a hand pump on it that he squeezed it, and it, sucked more air out of the cup, which made it pull, whatever, the blood, whatever, like that. I'm trying to figure out how the one you have will work with no actual power to it, but
I'll send you a link so you can see it. But yeah,
I would love to see it.
It's manual cupping. Absolutely.
Okay, so what this young man was selling, and he came down, he was selling, was this one, right? It's rechargeable. This thing is very powerful. It's got a couple of different cup sizes. You can change them. No TikTok. I'm not selling stuff. I'm trying to give him an example of looking for opportunities. And I looked at it and I said, wait a minute. How much money do you need on each cup to make back your investment? This thing is really powerful and it's beautiful and well done. He designed it. He created the box and the packaging and all that stuff. And I said, so you're just walking away from me? He says, not working for me. And I understand why. So you listen to me close. And I understand why. I understand why it's not working for him. It's not working for him because this is what I talked about last week. This is kind of disruptive in a way that most people don't know about this. So to try to sell this to people, you have to be able to educate them first in the value and what it is. You can't just go get on Amazon and try to sell it. You literally have to understand how to first spend the money it takes, not pushing it out to the public, which he was trying to do, but educating the people and creating a desire and a want and a hunger for a product. He didn't do that. He went online and he sold something, he said, but he went online. It's a niche group that he's going to be interested in it. And that's going to be people that's already into working out and physical, blah, 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 blah. But he didn't have what he needed to educate the market. So now he's sitting on a ton of them in his apartment, and he's just trying to almost give them away. Just as long as he can make $5 on them, he's good. Well, I looked up the prices that people sell it for, and I don't know what you paid for yours. What you paid for your regular, just stick it on your skin one? Lindsay. I'm curious. She said she'll be back. But Nelly, look them up. See if you can see cupping. What's it called again? Cupping therapy. What you see, what they go for, manual, whatever. But he said he just needs to make $5 on him. So I said to him, what if I can move these? He's like, whatever you want, I'll give them to you for this. Whatever you sell it for, you sell it for. I said, what if I get movement and it grows? He said, I can get more. I said, then I'm going to want to deal with you, one, exclusively. Two, I'm going to want a piece of the pie. I want a piece of the company. Not your whole company necessarily, but definitely this. That this is, I have a piece of the pie of this whole situation. He was like, sure. Because again, he's ready to get rid of it. But he's got maybe like 100 of them still sitting around. And I'm like, I'm going to try to take these to the market, but I need the information because I need to be able to explain to people what it is. He couldn't even really explain it to me. The trainer explained to me what it was. Here's my point.
So, okay, I found it.
You found something? Tell me what you see.
Yeah, so like if you're buying it in the store, it's about $30 like at Target. Walmart has a version for like 17. Then you have
Like that looks like these, or
the one like that is Target for about $30.
It's like a $30 thing.
Yeah.
So we can make some money doing it, right? And move them if we choose to do it. But here's my point. Understanding marketing, understanding brand, understanding what it is. I had to explain to him, like I've had to explain to so many people, the brand is not your product and your company name. The brand is you. And, you say you don't really like social media and all that stuff, but that's really where your power is. It's that. And so I'm going to sit down and look at this and look into it and see if it's something I can, when we go to the farmer's market, and see if there's something that, with some little videos and explanation, there's something that people will be interested in. Why? Because it costs me nothing to do that. I already bought the unit. But if I can gauge people's interest and see that people are interested in it, it's worth it to me to give it a try and then move into it as a possible business, right? But I would have to get somebody that's really into fitness, that represents it and looks good, and I have to gain enough profit on it where it's worth it for me to bring them in and give them a piece and say, okay, I'll give you a piece if you just be the cover model saying that this thing is great. All this kind of fun stuff. What am I doing? I'm looking for opportunities to invest in something with a reasonable return. When you go to somebody to borrow money or to get them to invest in your company, these people are going to look for what's a reasonable return on my investment. How soon would it take for me to see the return on my investment? And a lot of times, how much control do I have over the company or the situation from that point on to make sure that when there is an investment, I'm not forgotten. You will restore my investment. Are you with me so far? You learning something? Type in I'm learning. So it's funny because when I was talking to this young man today, and I was telling him he was the brand, started talking to him about Shaq. And then I decided I want to talk about this tonight. I want to talk about Shaq and the kind of moves he's made and making that makes him like, Shaq is so much smarter. He's this fun-loving, playful, big kid guy, but his business mind is something special. It's something special. He had a deal with Reebok. This is not what the video is going to be about. He had a deal with Reebok that he was getting paid so much money a year to wear their shoes. He decided to walk away from that deal and go do his own sneakers for Walmart, which was a smart move because he did very well selling cheap sneakers that kids can afford. But he eventually went back and got a piece of the branding company that owns Reebok. And now he's a shareholder. And for a season, I don't know if he still is. I think he still is now. He's the CEO of Reebok. So people who were once paying him, he found a way to buy in. One of the things I learned about Shaq is he finds investments and opportunities and things that other people are not seeing. He looks for it. So I don't know if you guys knew this. Shaq had a piece of Ring doorbells. Now the Sharks all turned away from it and they weren't interested in it. But Shaq said he had it on his door. He was in China. Somebody rang his doorbell. He was able to see who would answer his doorbell while he was in China. And he said, he called his people, said, I want a piece of this company right now. Get me a piece of this. This is going to be big. He sees the opportunities in the stuff that the average person doesn't look for. I'm not as, well, maybe I am. Maybe I just have not been exposed to the opportunities yet. But I do have the ability to see things when nobody else sees them. Like me buying in 2019 the box of Pokemon cards when everybody, and that's when Pokemon was new and nobody even looked at it as a collectible, and everybody looked at me like I was a jerk for spending close to $500 on an unopened box of Pokemon cards, which are now worth anywhere between $500 to $100,000. I mean, $50,000 to $100,000. $50,000 to $100,000 for a box of cards that I had the sense to buy, which I still have sitting in my closet, by the way. I'm not in a rush to sell them because I'm not in a desperate situation. But my point is, what did you say, 50 cents? No, it was 50 cents who called Shaq. Who called Shaq what? He owns 50 Cent's G Unit sneakers. Does Shaq own G Unit sneakers? If it's part of Reebok, then he owns a piece of it. Yeah, he's the CEO. Is G Unit still making sneakers? But here's the point. Go ahead. You gonna say something, D? I heard you.
Yeah, I was just saying during an interview, I recall 50 Cent FaceTiming Shaq during an interview, and I was like, "Oh, that's very interesting." So now that you mentioned that Shaq owns Reeboks, it makes sense because somewhere around the early 2000s, 50 Cent came out with his own brand of G Unit sneakers.
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
So small world, everything's just clicking in reality for me now.
So here's my question. That's what I was asking. So does G Unit sneakers still exist?
I'll say. I mean,
well, let's do a quick look up. One of you guys do a quick look up, and I'll get back to my point. But thanks for sharing that, right? Because if so, and when I say owns Reebok, I want you to understand he's a part owner. He doesn't own it, but he's part owner. He's owner of the company that owns it, and he's the second largest shareholder of that company. But what I want to tell you and what I want to educate you tonight on is how he did it. How he go from wearing their sneakers and they paying him to now being the CEO of the company and other things that Shaq did that a lot of people are not aware of because of the way he looks and the way he focuses on business. Nelly, who's on YouTube?
Oh, okay, so I was just about, right now, no one is logged in on YouTube. It says just one. No, somebody just came in, but I can't see them. So
It says two people.
It says two. Yeah, I can't see them because they're not commenting.
Well, whoever you are, comment, say hello, hi, and welcome. And hopefully you learn something tonight that's very, very helpful for you. Okay, so
Right.
I'm
And regarding the G Unit sneakers,
uh-huh.
they said that they're readily available still. The partnership ended in 2003, but you can still get it on like eBay and a reseller platform.
So they no longer with
Goats.
Reebok.
Correct.
So 50 Cent was probably on the phone with him trying to ask him, now that he's running the company, if he wants to renew the deal. The question is, does anybody care enough about G-Unit sneakers to want to buy them? Are they relevant? 15 had a record out in decades. So unless it's a foreign thing, that would be very interesting. So I want to show you this video. So I'm gonna have to bump you guys out for a minute, and I want you to take a look at this. And I want you to learn something. I know you will. Get ready. Let's get ready here. Let's get this video here. That's the only thing. That's the thing I love about this thing. You can do that. Thank you guys for the messages. That's true. Devon said, I never knows a sneaker that a rapper owned that was successful. I don't know it. It could be. I just don't know about it. Okay, here we are.
I don't like to seem like I'm bragging, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Who owns Marilyn Monroe?
Playboy?
Who owns Elvis Presley? Who owns Forever 21? Who owns JCPenney? Me. My real business is I own 50 brands. When I was retiring, I'm looking around, I'm like, how does Michael Jackson and all these guys live forever? Joint ventureship. So I called the 3 companies that help people live forever, and they brought my band for a lot of money. So I took half that money, put it back in the company. Now I'm the number 2 guy in the company. Instead of taking all that money and just saying, okay, you control 50% of my brand. Nope, I'm gonna put it back in. They could have bought my brand and made me go away, but I'm like, nope, now I own all those other brands. So if Shaq goes away, shit, we still got Elvis.
Did you hear what the man just said? Do I need to play it again? You need to hear it one more time. Did you hear what just happened? Did you hear what he just did? What he said he did and what he did? Did you hear? Did you hear? Okay, now the same replay. Play it again. All right. So he's saying again. So listen one more time.
I don't like to seem like I'm bragging, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Who owns Marilyn Monroe?
Playboy?
Who owns Elvis Presley? Who owns Forever 21? Who owns JCPenney? Me. My real business is I own 50 brands. When I was retiring, I'm looking around, I'm like, how does Michael Jackson and all these guys live forever? Joint ventureship. So I called the 3 companies that help people live forever, and they brought my band for a lot of money. So I took half that money, put it back in the company. Now I'm the number 2 guy in the company. Instead of taking all that money and just saying, okay, you control 50% of my brand. Nope, I'm gonna put it back in. They could have bought my brand and made me go away, but I'm like, nope, now I own all those other brands. So if Shaq goes away, shit, we still got Elvis.
Joint ventureship. You heard it. Okay. What do you think I'm trying to do with this guy? What do you think I did with Lindsay and Nelly? What do you think I did? I said, how can I take the talent they have and the knowledge I have and turn it into finance? Now, I'm looking more now to buy into stuff that's established than somebody like starting from the beginning like Nelly and Lindsay were. This guy is not established, but he has a good product. So my thing is to search the market and see how many people really want that product. Is there a real love for what he has and what he's doing? And do people want it? So I'm going to go over the way this situation went, because the way Shaq broke it down was really, really kind of quick and to the point. And and of course they did edit that video. I saw most of it, and it was pretty cool. But I'm inviting you back in just so we can have the room full. But Again, if you could come on, you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Nobody gonna be upset with you. Just make sure you tap in the screen. So real people, real geniuses, real businessmen, businesswomen that understand the game. They look for opportunities. They look for opportunities to invest. And here's the key. Look for opportunities to invest in yourself, but look for opportunities to invest in other things. Because there are people, I'm good at strategizing, but there are people that work harder than me. And I like to take their insight and say, well, since you have this kind of, you have this kind of drive and I don't, but I can really kind of aim things in a better direction. Let's work together. Now, I'm going to walk you through. He says it's a good chess move. It was a great chess move, Devon. But let me explain it to you. So I'm going to read the notes I got. He's a second largest individual shareholder in Authentic Brands Group. Now I'm familiar with Authentic Brands Group, a very big group, and they own all those people he named and more. Look up Authentic Brands Group and tell me what else they own. When I ask for it. So it's dozens of retailer brands and acquisitions. And what a lot of companies do now, and Lindsay, I spoke to you about this last week when we talked about the possibility of selling FIA as a company, how much money we can get for it. And it was very high, 6 figures. People will buy an established brand or a semi-established brand if the brand has made some room, but now the brand is not doing anything. So like he said, Forever 21. I don't even know if that store exists anymore. J.C. Penney, all these names. They go and they'll buy them up. I don't have to set up the corporation. I don't have to, get, establish anything. I just have to take it and push it to the next level if I believe I can. So Radio Shack, all these names. So a lot of artists, they sell 50% of their likeness and image and give people these exclusive rights to use them and stuff. So you see Shaq in all the commercials, he just represents everything. Well, there's a reason why he does, because he's a part of this brand company. So when these people come in and say, we want to use him in a commercial, listen, they could have took Shaq's image and used them for adult diapers if he just sold it to them. But he didn't. He said, well, he did. What he did was he said, well, let me read the way this goes. Let me read right here. So Reebok is owned by them, Forever 21, Bob's New York. What's that other one? Brooks Brothers.
Sports
Illustrated.
Marilyn Monroe,
Elvis Presley.
Iconic Estates.
Iconic
Estates, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some of the names. These are big.
Yeah.
So what these companies, this Authentic Brands did is it goes and it buys up all these names. It's kind of like just owning real estate and waiting for something to pop or somebody to want it, and then you can sell it back, right? So they came to Shaq and said, we're going to give you a nice chunk of change for your name. I'm looking for the money because I wrote it down here. Yeah. They offered Shaq $135 million to control his name, image, and likeness. That was a good investment for them because they knew they could make that money off of Shaq. Shaq took the $135 million and he could have said, whoo, I'm gonna go do something with this money. It's not what he did. What he did was he said, let me go see and look up what the stocks and the shares of this company is worth. And he saw that company was publicly traded and he could buy the shares. And he took half of his money and bought the second majority shares of the whole company. So here's the way the guy says it. Salter, who was his partner, previously explained in an interview that in 2021, moments before O'Neal closed the deal to sign away half of his brand proceeds to Authentic, he turned to Salter with an idea. O'Neill says, you know all the money that you're going to give me. 125 million. Yeah. I said, yeah. He said, I like to invest it in ABG. And I said, hold on. I don't understand. You need to explain that to me. Shaq says, I'm doing a deal with you to sell 50% of everything I have going on for me for the rest of my life. Do you think I trust you? And the guy said, I hope so. He said, why wouldn't I be partners with you? We're going to build this company together. And that's how he became the second largest shareholder of ABG. So what he did was he said, you could take me and do anything with me. But if I own half this company, I'm going to take, so I want you to understand something. I want you to catch this. I want you to get this. I want you to get this. Shaq didn't spend a dime to buy into the company. He took the money they paid him and he bought half of the company. And now he says, doesn't make a difference what happens, I'm going to be paid. Even if I go away, Elvis, Marilyn, people like that, they're going to be around. So listen to this. This is the power of the move that he made. So based on his likeness, under that agreement, ABG handles the licensing and merchandising tied to his personal brand. As a part of the deal, O'Neill retains a significant ownership stake in the company, right? Investors and strategic partners. He is with this other guy, Salter. Not the sole owner, of course, he's just a large shareholder. ABG claims tens of billions in annual retail sales across its platforms, over 30 billion in recent estimates. So listen to this. They gave him 130 million. He didn't go take the money, party, or buy a new house. He bought back the company that's supposed to be now managing him. So now he manages him. A company now worth 30 billion. So Reebok is now part of their brand. People that understand success, just to me close, don't look at money as the arrival. And people who do that don't last long. You don't look at the money you accumulate as arrival. You look at that as the opportunity to buy into more opportunity, and usually to opportunities that don't necessarily have anything to do with you, but still are good opportunities to be a part of. I see a lot of people say, yeah, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna make this much money, I'm gonna sell this, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna chill. But real smart-minded thinkers and investors are looking for things they can invest in that's gonna pay them back dividend. And what he did is they bought into him because they believed in him enough that they know if we give him 130 million, we're gonna work hard to make that 130 million back times 5. Well, the mind of a person that thinks like an investor, the mind of the person who thinks like an investor says, well, if you're gonna give me 130 million, that means you think you're gonna make $1 billion or $500 million or something, or you're gonna make at least 3 times that back. So what I'll do instead is I'll take that money and I'll invest it back into the company so that I wind up making what you're going to make off of me. Are you getting that? Are you seeing the reality of that?
Yeah.
You caught that, Nelly?
Yeah.
You guys online here, are y'all catching that? Are you catching what I'm teaching you right now? Trying to make money and trying to do business just so you can stick something in your pocket and say, I got something, and go buy yourself something new. That's a short-term dream. Looking for the opportunities once you get investment to invest in something, that's dreaming. That's vision. And real investors, for me, I'll buy the cheapest of cheap stuff. I think this shirt is a Walmart shirt. I have a couple of suits, but designs, but I look for the cheapest ones in those too. The key is, what do you really want to be? And why are you really doing it? Are you doing it just so you can say I made a chunk of change and I can, pat myself and say this is how much I made? Or are you looking to say I want to use what I get? Because Nelly and I were talking about the company, and it's another company that I was talking about dealing with, and Lizzie and I was talking about the possibility of selling the company. And I said, but if we, but it's our thing. Who cares? If it pays that, we'll take that and we'll build another thing. That's the key. Giving yourself the leverage to do what you do. I used to always say, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to sell a building in New York. I just want to hold on to it and pass it down in the lineage. Screw all that. A lot of times your kids don't even want that. They don't want to have nothing to do with them. Think that's your dream or your thing. I don't want nothing to do with it. But hey, if I sell it and I walk away with a nice chunk of money, guess what I can do? I can now take that, invest into some other things or maybe some other buildings. And that's the way you should think as an investor. That's the way your mind should be set to go. Even if you are an entrepreneur, how long are you going to be slave to this business? How long is this business going to owe you and control you? Because there's a boat ride that we take here in what's it up in Miami, up from Fort Lauderdale, right? We caught that boat that
Yes.
took us down.
Yeah.
And it's a boat that takes you down Millionaires Row. And it points out these houses, all these big houses right on the water. And he tells you, oh, this is the guy who owns Walgreens, got this. Oh, this is the people who have this, got this. And then he took us to a section, really nice houses. And he started naming the businesses. And he said, now these are the working millionaires. This is the working class millionaires. And I've never heard that phrase before, working class millionaire. So this is where the people, he said, oh, they're millionaires, but they still got to get up and go to work every day. Where these people who own these empires, they're just going to live for the rest of their life or for what they've already made. So I took that to heart. I want you to listen to that. You can put it in the chat, working class millionaire. I looked at that and it made me think, wow, a successful person who still has to get up and work every day, and they call them working class millionaires. And then these people have built such a legacy that they own these stores or these franchises or these businesses that for generations it will continue to pay for them. A working class millionaire hit me different because it made me say, wow, so there's a success that you got to bust your behind every day to maintain. And then there's another level of success that it just maintains you. So I'm going to open the floor up, the conversation, question. I've said all I came here to kind of basically put down, but I want to know what you're feeling, how you're feeling about what you're hearing, and I want you to ask some questions. Let me see who else is here to invite in. Yeah, you guys could come in and talk. I see S is here. I see Tane is
I
here.
think I have a question.
Again, I invite you, but don't feel obligated. Go ahead, Nelly.
But they said ABG was worth how much? Billions?
30 billion.
Okay, so what I didn't understand is it's worth 30 billion, but to buy in was only going to be in the millions. Like I thought it would be more expensive to buy in as a second shareholder. Like I thought it would have been $1 billion. Why was it?
It said that's what it's worth now.
Oh.
It may not have been worth that. And you got to understand something. If they were building and Shaq was a hot brand and they offer, that's not unusual. But depending on how, I bet you can't buy in now for no 130
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking.
million.
Okay.
But at the time, the valuation of the company would have been, what it was. And so if Shaq was a doorway to them getting to that level that they are right now, then he was smart enough to say, well, I said this when I was talking, you probably didn't hear me. I said, they looked at Shaq as a cash cow, obviously. And let me know if I can be heard on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. So they bought into Shaq, and Shaq already, and I said this earlier, so I'm gonna say it one more time. Watch this. If they were willing to give him 130, they estimated they were going to get that back at least 3 to 5 times, maybe 10 times. You follow it? Based on doing the deal with him. He had to know that. You'll give me 130, that means you're planning to make $1 billion. You're trying to make $1 billion. That's your goal.
Right.
So then why don't I just buy back into the company so that when this ride takes off and you make that $1 billion, I'm part of that $1 billion. That's the difference. You get it now? So the valuation of the company at the time may not have been, well, obviously wasn't that much, but it says it's now worth that. So that needs to be stated. What's going on, fam? Talk to me. Oh, I want to thank you for the gift.
What's poppin', Gramps?
What's going on, TJ?
Yeah, it's just making me think about the creativity behind brand deals.
Yeah.
Just managing your own brand, because I know this isn't the main point, but I just can't believe they let that deal fly.
Yeah.
And I get looking back, it worked out for them, right? Because their valuation skyrocketed.
And Shaq's on everything, right?
They essentially paid him to bring him on as a partner, which I'm sure was not a part of their plan. So I'm surprised that, I wonder the legality behind. I'm surprised that they let something like that fly. But it's sparking just the thought of, okay, there's an aspect of creativity and making money that this is sparking. So
let me throw something at you, and it's a good point you're making, a good question, and I'm gonna try to answer it. If they were willing to give him that much money, they saw value. They wanted that deal with him bad. If he turned around and said, okay, let's say he didn't take the money and buy it back. Let's say he just said, keep the money. I want stock. Isn't that the same? Alanis Morissette, I think her name is, did that with the MP3s when they first tried to get her to sponsor it back in the day. And the people who created MP3 and they asked her to invest in it. And she said, no. If that's the way music is going and you really believe that's the way it's going, keep the money. I want a piece of it. Anytime an MP3 is downloaded, she's going to be paid for the rest of her life unless she sold her shares. People do that. Grandson, people will say, I will take shares in lieu of payment because I believe you believe in what you're doing enough, and the fact that you're willing to pay me this money. 50 talked about his manager, what's his name, Shine, or whatever his name is, not Shine. What was the guy who used to be 50's manager in the beginning? He was a producer of the first album. And 50 did a whole video talking about where he came in and said, yo, I want $50,000 or something crazy like that. I don't remember the number, but he said, I want 30,000, I think it was. And the record company said, take 2 points and only take like $10,000. And he put his foot down. No, absolutely not. And I might not have the numbers exactly right, but however it went, no, I want my 30,000. And he said even his lawyer said, this isn't 50's book. This isn't 50's book. His first book. And 50 said even his lawyer said, yo, it was 20,000. I'll give you the 20,000 for the point. Sell the point to me. Now it's the principle of it all. Blah, 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 blah. They gave him his money, deal closed. 50 said if he had taken those 2 points, his 2 points would have been worth, I think, about 6-7 million, somewhere around there. It would have been worth millions over the thousands, because he didn't take the deal that they offered him, which said to me, I guess you really didn't believe in even what you were doing with him. Because if you really thought it was going to be a big hit, he said after it blew up, he started coming around, and 50 was like, yeah, you got paid. You done. Ain't no more work for you, bro. Bye. So my point is, he didn't see the value. Shaq did. So how did that deal go down? Well, I could take the money or I can ask for stock. And I think that's what he did. Also, yeah, Shaw Money. Thank you, Shaw Money. Yeah. It was 50,000 for the studio time. Thank you, Devon. I know you'll be up on it. 50,000. He argued give me my 50,000 for studio time. They told him take 20 and 2 points. Nope. Pay me for my studio time. So he got paid for his studio time. But his 2 points would have been worth a couple of million. But he wanted 50,000 right now. So Shaq could have taken the 130 million right now and went party with it. And the funny thing is, he didn't even give it all back. The valuation of the company, he said he gave 50% of it back. That's not the first time Shaq did that. When Shaq decided he wanted to walk away from Reebok in the beginning, they were paying him, I think, was it $4 million a year? When he talked about the lady slapped the money out of his hand and said, make cheaper sneakers, he told Reebok, keep the rest of the money. Don't pay me anymore. I'll finish out my contract with you. I'm going to go do my own thing. He went and did the Walmart deal. I think that deal made him like, what, 130 million, something crazy like that. All money ain't good money. And sometimes, I would take the deal a lot of times over the money because, I've seen how that works. So I've done stuff with people and they want to pay me and I go like, nah, I want in. Sometimes it didn't work. But, we talked about this in the first part, but maybe 6 out of 10 won't work. Maybe 3 of them will limp along, but let one blow up and you're straight for the rest of your life. So I hope I answered your question, but yeah, you're allowed to sell back your shares or keep your money for shares in any company. And if the company was publicly traded, so listen to this, if the company was publicly traded, and I don't know if it was or not, you can look it up for me and see if this ABG was publicly traded when Shaq bought his shares.
Okay.
Because if it was publicly traded, they have no say-so. Once your company goes public, people could buy shares. You could limit how many shares are sold, but people could buy shares. And the majority of shares that are available, like I said, he didn't get ownership, but he's the second highest owner. But the guy, Salter, who owns that company or who was the founder, he loves Shaq as a partner. He's like saying, Shaq, like he would step in front of it. Literally, he said he would step in front of a train for Shaq. Like he literally wanted the alliance. Shaq came back and offered him a partnership. You can't beat that.
It said no. ABG was not public when Shaq O'Neal bought into the company in 2015.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it wasn't publicly traded, but the guy was trying to raise it. Listen, he said I could give him 130 million, or I could keep half of that and let him come on as a partner. So this way, if I lose, he loses, I ain't lose 130 million. I'm just saying, it's Grandson's good dealing. That's good dealing. If you was hot and I was trying to get you, listen, if I said to Taylor Swift or somebody on that level, Beyonce, I want to buy you into something, I want to pay you to be a part of the brand. She says, nope, you keep half of that and let me be a partner. That's a win-win. Less money going out my pocket, less risk that I'm taking. Somebody willing to take the risk with me. Did I answer you? I mean, I went pretty deep with it, but did I answer you? That's a good deal. No response, grandson? You gonna let me know? Did that make sense? Anybody else?
Sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, sorry. But good question though.
Yeah, to your point earlier, if he stuck with the original deal, which it's not a chunk of change to laugh at, he would have been, what you said earlier, working class millionaire. They would have made a workhorse out of that man.
Absolutely. Now that he's the co-owner, he can say, "No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the Defense commercial. I don't want to do that. That's not my look. I don't want to do that." But yeah, he worked with the guy, and yeah, right, working. Whew. Yeah, now that was a stroke of genius move. What is Shaq's net worth? Is he in the billion?
Good question.
Because we don't know how many people are partners in that company.
Right.
They just say he is one of the bigger. He is the second largest shareholder, but that don't mean that he owns 90% of the company.
500 million. Wow.
500 million?
Mm-hmm.
What's his percentage of ABG?
Okay.
This is all good stuff to know. But this is what was built.
Okay, so it's a key partner by selling 50% of his own name likeness. Let me see.
Yeah, but what percentage of the company does he own?
Yeah, it's not just an investor, but also a partner. It doesn't really say the percentage here. It just says how much he bought it for.
Okay. How much did he buy it for?
I'll keep looking and see. Invested, of course, the $135 million into the firm, while the exact current partner percentage of total company ownership is not publicly disclosed.
Okay, it's not put out there.
Yeah, Shaq became a key partner by selling 50% of his own name and likeness rights to ABG.
That's why I would say to you, Nelly, all the time, it's the image, it's you, you're the product. If you become big enough, people will come want to do deals with you. They want to come and buy your name out. It's better for you to say, yeah, we could do that. We could take that.
Gotcha.
Or bet on yourself. Yeah, I want you to keep that money. I want a piece of the pie. Come on, talk to me, y'all. Let me know.
And what I was understanding from reading about ABG is that they are looking for a lot of different brands that are like not doing that well or need rebranding and all of that, and they can take your likeness and then rebrand you, put you out there, and manage the whole name and likeness. That's what I understand what they really do.
Did you hear that, Lindsay? That's what I was talking about for Fia. That's what I was talking about for Fia. If you jump in, if you're here, I don't know if she's even in the room, but
so the benefit of Shaq, like just letting them buy his name, was that basically that's what he was saying, he'll never live forever. I mean, he'll live forever because they'll keep putting money into his name even when he's dead. No,
he's saying that if his name fails, Elvis Presley and Marilyn Monroe will keep making money, and he owns a piece of the company.
Oh, that's what from that side. Okay.
That's what he was saying. He was like saying if Shaq disappears, they won't.
So, and what's the benefit of them buying your name and likeness to rebrand you, like just so that you just always keep making money, you're always popular, you're always out there, right?
No, well, yeah, but they want to buy your name and your brand because let's say I had a right to market and use Beyonce's name in any product and stuff I want to do. How much money would I make?
Okay, that's their benefit. Okay, got you.
I mean, if Beyonce said to me, "Give me 100 million, and you can use my name and likeness and shampoo and this and that and that," I'm straight.
Got it.
That would be a terrible deal on her part, but I'm straight. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to bust my behind to get her in Gold Bond commercial and the General and Papa John's pizza or whatever it is and everything. And then what Shaq does is said, not only am I going to let you use my name, I'm going to go do the deal.
That was very smart. Yeah.
So if we got a company that we built up like FIA, it's going to a certain level. Me and Lindsay's like, well, do we want to do this anymore? I don't know if we want to do this anymore. I'm doing Joy Fluent, you're doing Vision Builders. So what would most people do? They would dismantle the company. We'll just file the paperwork and we'll just shut it down. Well, the company Live Unique has a $2.5 million valuation in Dun & Bradstreet.
You mean FIA?
FIA.
Yeah, you said Live Unique.
I mean, FIA. Well, amen. I'm speaking in. It has that valuation. Well, that may be worth to somebody who says, I want to take this name and go to the next level. May be worth to somebody over $500,000 or more. But my point is, that's the value of building a brand. You build a brand, somebody might want to buy that brand. They might want to take that brand off you. If they do, it's worth something. Is anybody else going to ask any questions or have any comments? We're at 55K in the likes. That's a little low, but we don't have a full room tonight. But I would love to hear what you got to say. If you got anything to say. Hey, Clock It, how you doing? Good to see you. Up in the house here. I think I said hi to Esther already, and yeah, I think Clock It's the only one in the room that's new.
I saw someone make a point a while ago that there's a generation of small business owners who, and to circle it back to the point you made earlier about the building, who have ownership over businesses or assets and don't want to pass it to their kids, or their kids don't want it. And the point that they were making was there's an opportunity there for someone who's a little bit more ambitious than the person that would be inheriting the business or the asset for you to take it over, because that person is motivated to sell. They're older. They don't want to run the business anymore. They can't pass it to the kids because the kids won't take it. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
Now, let's take what you just said right there, because that's powerful, Jane. I love the point you bring up. There are people right now, which is what I'm learning, which is what I'm looking into myself, that are actually straight doing that. People they're getting older. They don't want to handle the business anymore. Well, why take the business and start from scratch, or go try to start a business from scratch when you got something that's already established that could be sold, and they could just take it, and the name's already got some following, some kind of life, and they said, we just want to take it over. That is what we're looking into with FIA right now. That is where wisdom resides. You don't have to have a ton of money in $150 million to do these kind of deals. There was a deal I was looking into a while ago. It didn't go through, but somebody had a storefront that they want to sell the building, the storefront. In the building, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go look into these kind of deals again. In that building was a Dollar Tree. And that Dollar Tree had a 20-year lease. So he wanted to sell the building and the Dollar Tree lease. I was trying to get that building. Now, the beautiful thing about a commercial lease like that, if Dollar Tree said, well, we're going out of business, until you get somebody else in that building, they still got to pay that rent. They got to pay it. That's the lease. until there's another store up in there set up and running and going. As long as your lease still exists, you got to pay that. So they were saying to me, so here's the key. Find a building space, and before you buy it, see if you got a major corporation that have big, deep pockets that want to set up a store in there. And Dollar Tree is one of those situations where people do that. So yeah, there's times people are like, I don't want to run this Dollar Tree anymore. I'm tired of it. All right. Well, you want to sell me the Dollar Tree? All right. So I'll buy your lease in your store from you. Now, me, I would rather buy the building with the Dollar Tree in it and not buy the Dollar Tree and pick up the lease. Deals are done like this all the time. This is why I've been saying think like an investor, because these are the things that people need to pay attention to right now. We need to pay attention to where the money is and how the real deals are done. And it's not about the biggest chunk of change you get in your pocket, but set this up for you that keeps running and keeps working. So right now I'm in investment mode. I'm looking for that next, green turtle. You know what I'm saying? That orange rabbit, that whatever you want to call it. I'm looking for that because I say green turtle like all turtles are green, purple turtle. My point is, you look until you find that thing, and it may not be a unicorn, but it may be close enough, and let it pave the way to the next thing. And don't hold on to every deal like, oh, this is my baby, my dream. It's a business. Don't fall in love with it. Don't get all caught up in it emotionally. Yeah, no, this is about dream. You can have another dream. Go back to sleep, have another one. But use situations as opportunities to grow to next. And there's people that will, especially people that don't really understand this, they will argue me down. No, it's your dream, it's your legacy. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a doorway to the next step that you need to go to. And people need to think different. Okay, guys, you need to come up in the room. If not, I'm going to wrap the night up. If you're not going to have a conversation with me, then that means you don't like me and you don't want to talk to me, and I'm good with that. Nothing going in the comments. Thank you for tapping though and getting the taps in there, but I don't see the comments moving, and I don't see people come in the room to talk. So let me know what you're doing. See, this was a great conversation. So that means we done? Are we done? Okay, I guess we are. Well, I'll stay on a few more minutes. We're at 70,000. I'm stay on here for 3 more minutes until we reach the 1.5 hour mark. And then I'm going to go because nobody's communicating with me. And so, yeah. I see Ruth is here. Hey, Ruth. Welcome. I'm going to invite you, Clock It. I don't know if you got availability to pop in, but if you do, you will. But I like to make sure I give everybody a chance to get in before I go. This whole analogy of tonight and how things work, it's a real good way to look at business. It's a real good way to start to think about business because, I used to say when I was a kid, I want to own a grocery store. Until I got older and realized all the hard work that went to owning a grocery store. And I was like, I want to be the people who supply the food to the grocery store. And then, my mind started to think a little bit different. Like, right, he got to stand all day and sew and hit the cash register and do that. I don't want to be that. I want to be the person that, and then it was like, oh, but it's not one person, it's a whole bunch of people. Okay, well then, is there up the chain like a main warehouse that they get it from? And like my mind immediately started to think, Yeah, Esther said the Dollar Tree example made her think about the franchise session we had before. Yeah, it's so many businesses out here. I'm gonna get that dude Kareem on to talk about franchises. Eventually, I'm gonna sit down, have a chat with him, do an interview with him. But yeah, like there's so many things that you don't consider franchises that are franchises, and they're available and better for you to talk about it and to get in the process. And it don't take a lot of money to do a franchise, and you don't have to a lot of times even be in the store doing any of the work. You can just have a manager or a management company who runs the store, and you just come and check in, and it's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. Okay, so listen, I'm going to begin to wrap it up right now. I'm going to say thank you for being in here. This is probably one of the shorter ones we've done in a while, but I think we got some real good information out there, and a real education out there about these businesses and how they are available to us if we would approach it and think about it right. There's so much more opportunity out there that we're not aware of. There's so many ways to make finances and money out there that we are not seeing or understanding their ideals. And this whole thing of I don't want to be in debt. I just want to make money, and I hear that, and I hear that a lot. But let me help you out. Apple, when they built that new big circular campus thing that they did, $1 trillion company, they took out a loan to build it. There's a smart way to use debt. Using debt to buy, luxuries and stuff like that is silly. But wealthy people use debt. It's not a dumb thing if you use it right. What's his name? JP Morgan Chase just gave me a $180,000 line of credit. I'm like, I don't need your credit. I don't need to use your credit. They're like, yeah, but if you're going to build something, don't you have to pull your money out? You just use the line of credit that we gave you, blah, 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 blah. And I had to sit back and think about like, I don't want to do those with credit. I'd rather just use my own money. But then I thought about it like, but that's what the wealthy people do. They use other people's money to build their dreams, to build their companies. And that's where strategic partnerships come in. So to end this where we started, Shaq offered himself as a strategic partner. He said, yeah, you could pay me and I could walk away, or I can be a strategic partner and work with you. And of course, he's going to work hard for them. And of course, they're going to work hard for him because he's a partner. It's genius. Thank you guys for the gift. Thank you for the Go Populars, Nelly, and the flowers. We appreciate you. Thank you, everybody who's been giving your gifts and stuff tonight. I appreciate everything. I'm gonna see who's left here in the room and say good night to you guys. Well, Esther, start with Esther, you. Devon, thank you. Dynamic, thank you. Tane, thanks. Ruth, thanks. Clock It, thank you for popping in. Amanda, thank you for popping in. If you got something good out of the night, at least just get in the chat and say that was good or something. And just jumping in, give me a last little push out before we go. Now I'm gonna start dropping you from the room. Make sure you go up top and do your heart me. Gather up your points when you get out. Before you get out, and it's been a pleasure having you. Pleasure spending time with you. Nelly, is somebody in YouTube or no?
No, no one came in today. Well, two people came in, but I couldn't see them. But no one
Okay.
commented.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure having you anyway. If you were there, appreciate you. Appreciate having you. You guys have been great, and it's been great hanging out with you. And we're gonna come around again. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna get in here. We're gonna do it again real soon. Do me a favor. Shoot me some topics that you want me to talk about, even if it's a video you saw and you're like, I want you to explain this to me more. DM me. Go in the DM, shoot it to us, and let me know. I want you to talk about this. Bring me subjects that you want me to talk about. Put subjects you want to talk about in my DM. Let me know that you, one, have things that you have questions about. Because sometimes I'm concerned, I get up here and I'm teaching stuff, and it might not be exactly stuff that you have a question on. So go ahead and drop it, and just shoot a DM to me on the TikTok, and let me know that you have things that you want to ask me about. And YouTube, do the same. Like, okay, not here in the DM so that the team gets it, for not in the chat, baby, and shoot a DM to the team and put it in the chat. I mean, in the actual messaging, send a message that we. But leadership qualities is a good conversation to have for sure. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Leadership qualities. But yeah, get in the chat and let us know. Not in the chat, and DM. DM us and let us know what you want us to talk about. All right, and we're going to the next level. It's nothing but quality over quantity, and we're going to go there. We're going to do it together, and I'm ready to go and make things happen. And I know you too. You ready? Let's grow, family. Talk to you soon. See you next Monday.